Welcome back, assuming you've been here before. Today I'm going to make something dead easy. If you haven't looked in how to making these, you might assume they're a bit difficult. They're not. They're an absolute piece of... I can't take credit for the recipe because it's just in this food and fire book. So what you are going to need is 500 grams of sausage meat. I just got some of these Tesco Finest pork sausages because they're genuinely really tasty. Some decent eggs. Got some Burford Browns. You're going to need a cup of coffee, because it's a bit early for beer. Well, it's never too early for beer, but it's a bit early. Bowl of water, so that when you're moulding the sausage meat around the egg, keep your fingers wet and your hands wet, and it won't stick to your hands. And some rub. I've got this Lumberjaxe Yeehaw Cowboy butter seasoning. I'm pretty sure it's designed to make a compound butter, but this stuff on a number of different things is amazing. I've had this on Scotch eggs before, and it gives it a really nice flavour, but a really nice texture as well, because I don't use breadcrumbs. I've also used this on tomahawk porks. I did cook some last night, and I was going to do a video on them because they are genuinely amazing, but I didn't plug the microphone into the camera, so I'll have to reorder some of them and show you another day. Angus and Oink have just released a new rub. I don't know whether you can see that on my watch. Hook, line and sinker. Now the first thing you've got to do is boil your eggs. The recipe says 500 grams for 4 large eggs. I've got 6 medium eggs and a bit more than 500 grams of meat. So I'm going to attempt to do 6 Scotch eggs because I'm a fat greedy pig. I'm sure you all know how to boil eggs, so you'll do them to the time that suits you, but 6 to 7 minutes tends to give you a fairly runny egg. Bear in mind, these eggs are going to cook a little bit in the barbecue as well. I'm not a huge fan of a massive soft boiled egg. Don't mind it being a bit firm. That's just me lining myself up for having hard boiled eggs. You're going to need a bowl of ice water, so as soon as your eggs are boiled, you need to put them straight into a bowl of ice water to stop them cooking. The only ice we have is a little Volkswagen camper van ice tray. So that's going to have to do. Cool, eh? I've just ran them under a cold tap just to give them a bit of a cold shocking. But that should stop them from cooking. So we'll give them a few minutes and then we'll start cracking them open and peeling them. In the meantime, I'll cut the skins off these sausages. They're not the best quality of sausages, obviously, because they're from a supermarket, but the herbs in them taste really good. These tiny little Victorinox knives are sharp as a pin, and my sausage fingers are struggling with dexterity. You get the idea. I'll bring you back in a minute. Right, sausages are done. Give them a little crack and get to peeling. Got to be quite careful with these because they're a bit delicate. That's a bit of a rough one. I might try and be a bit more gentle with the next one. That's my least favourite bit of the whole cook done now, peeling the eggs. It's an absolute fucking nightmare. I've put gloves on. When I normally do this, I normally just do it with my bare hands, and the sausage meat sticks like shit to a wool blanket. That's why I've got a bowl of water to wipe my hands, but I'm going to try it with gloves on. So all I'm going to do, get this all mushed up together, pull a bit off, pull a bit more off. If you just flatten it out into a bit of a disc shape, pop your egg in the middle, and then you're simply just going to coax the sausage meat around the egg. I don't know whether there's any guidance as to how much sausage meat you should have. Well, I'm guessing it's about 125 grams per egg as per the recipe. I've never measured it, just do it by eye. That looks like a Scotch egg size. That'll do me. A bit more on that, eh? You don't want it too thin because obviously your egg will be exposed then. Some of these eggs are a bit rough and ready. Doesn't really matter, it's all going inside here. But some of the eggs turned out really nice. Some of the eggs turned out a bit ropey. These gloves work a treat, by the way. If you've got gloves, use them. If you haven't got gloves, use a bowl of water. Because honestly, this really, really sticky. There's 2. Right, we now have 6 eggs, rough ball shape. Some of them are a bit bigger than others, but who cares? So this is where you then apply your rub. It'll stick really well. You see all the little, what are these in here? Parsley and thyme in here. It just lends itself really, really well to this savoury treat. And then all the other bits in it as well. Oh my God, honestly, it works really well. I have used a fairly sweet barbecue rub on these in the past, and that worked just as well. So you put whatever rub you like on it, even just salt and pepper. So now we're going to put these in the fridge for 1 to 2 hours to firm up, and then we'll get them on the barbecue. So that's the Scotch eggs out of the fridge, feeling fairly plump. And I'm going to cook them on a barbecue that I haven't used for years. This was my first ever Weber barbecue. It's a Smokey Joe. It wasn't in too bad condition, but I did find a tiny little cast iron pan in there that I thought I'd lost for years. So you might be able to see through the smoke here. I've got charcoal banked up against the back. A couple of cherry wood chunks. This blues hog stuff needs to stock up there. Might be taking a bit of a risk with this barbecue because it's not the best at holding temperature, but we'll give it a go. See how we get on. I had to close the vents before because the ones closer to the coal were getting pretty charred as expected. Ooh. Looks like we might have a bit of a casualty. Some of these are a bit leaky, but they're not turning out too bad. Let's get a temperature. We want the sausage meat to be around 74-ish. Ooh, 74, 71, 70, 66. Very consistent. Yeah, it's been a bit of a challenge. I turned them all before and moved them around a little bit because you just haven't got the space on this. But sometimes it's just nice to set yourself a little challenge. I see that one, the sausage meat split. See the egg in there. You can also put barbecue sauce on them or something similar at this stage if you like. But I like them to be a bit more savoury. Dale, can you hear that car in the background? Right, another 5 minutes. Reckon we'll be done. Let's see how we are getting on. Still not there. 70. It's really hard to read these as well because there's such a thin layer of sausage around the edge. You don't want to be sticking it in the egg. Another 5 minutes, see how we get on. Come on, baby. Oh, look at the colour on them beauties. Look at that. Done, done, done. We're done. Actually done. To be fair, I didn't have much hope for this barbecue, but it's done pretty well. 6 Scotch eggs done on the Weber, what's it called? Smokey Joe. Over Weber briquettes. Cherry wood chunks. Took about 30 to 40 minutes. Moment of truth time. Now that yolk might be a bit overdone for some of you, but that works very well for me. A nice orange yolk too. Sarah, have a look at this.
Oh yeah, they look good.
Don't they just?
Mm-hmm. Can I have one now on a plate?
If you want. Cheers. Oh, they're perfect. They're really juicy. The sausage meat's dead juicy. You can't half taste the smoke in them, can't you? And then that cowboy butter rub. Ah. Oh my God. If I wasn't cooking burgers today, which I'm going to do in a second, I'd smash them tonight. I suggest you give them a go yourself. Dead easy. And cheap. See you next week. They're the best I've made, aren't they? Camera must be a good luck charm.